Hey folks, Brian here. Today I want to talk about grief. If you know me, you know it actually is one of my favorite subjects, and I like to talk about it. I have led the Grief Share program for a while, and it means so much to me. So in Grief Share, we talk about different things. We talk about the dumb things that people say. We talk about the ambushes of grief. Things that just get you out of nowhere. A song, a smell, a picture, riding by a certain place. Things that just attack you with grief. But then there's also expected grief. And that's what I want to talk about today. Expected grief. Grief that you know is coming. A birthday, an anniversary, a holiday, something like that. And I'm talking about it because I'm coming up on that. There's a little stretch in July, which is next week as I'm filming this. July 17th, 2016, my dad passed away on July 17th. He was 74. Our birthdays were 3 days apart, and that December he was going to be 75 and I was going to be 50. So we were really looking forward to that. It didn't make it. But anyway, that was the 17th. And July 17th was also the birthday of Hugh Weiss, who was a dear man. I loved him almost as much as my own dad. Just a sweet, dear, kind man. And his birthday, so my dad died on Hugh's birthday, and Hugh passed away a few years later, I think 2020 or 21. So that's July 17th. And then July 19th, my best friend, Pastor Dan, turned 50. 2 years later in 2018. And I wrote a beautiful tribute to him on Facebook. And I even remember proofreading it before I published it, before I put it on Facebook, because I'm a grammar Nazi. And I remember reading it and even saying out loud to myself, this sounds like a eulogy. And the next week it was. So Pastor Dan died 2 days later, 2 days after his 50th birthday. And he was a dear friend. He was I was the worship leader. He was the kids pastor. And now his son is married to my daughter, and Dan is the other grandfather of the two grandbabies, and he's not here. And it really hit me hard. I gained 45 pounds in 6 months, less than 6 months after he died. But that's when someone told me I needed Grief Share. I found out about it. I went through it and I ended up leading it. But so that little stretch, July 17th to 21st, every year, I know that's coming because I'm going to think there's going to be Facebook memories that pop up and things like that. And so for those 3 days, those 4 or 5 days right there, those three men, three of the finest men I ever knew, and 3 of the men who I grieve the most, those 3 men are going to be in the forefront of my mind for that week. And I know that. I know going into it. But like we say in Grief Share, grief is the price you pay for loving someone. And I loved all 3 of those men so deeply. But the reason I take the time to tell this story, tell all that about them, is because everyone has something like that. If not, you will. But you may have something like that. So when you know something's coming like that you're going to have, say, extra grief, whether it's a birthday, a holiday, some kind of family event, something that really makes you miss them or makes you think of them even more than usual. Plan ahead. Don't. So some advice for a situation like that. When you know you're coming up on that expected grief, don't make your schedule too busy. The natural thought is, I'm going to plan everything around there. I'm going to be so busy I won't have time to think about it. Don't do that. Lighten your schedule on that day or those couple of days, whenever it is. Lighten your schedule. Make it as light as you can. Plan for time. Plan to set aside some time. If it's early in the morning or in the middle of the day between some activities, plan to set aside some time to get off by yourself. You may cry. You may just sit and mope a little bit, or you may pray, or whatever. But you just to get alone and to get away from all the distractions and stuff, and set that time aside, and be ready for it. So plan ahead, and if you can manage that grief during that time, so that the rest of the day or the rest of the couple days that you're doing things, that you're still able to focus and do what you need to do. So that's my advice. There's so much more. I'm going to be making plenty of videos in the future about different aspects of grief, but I wanted to share that one because my expected grief is coming up. So I hope that helps. I know it has helped me. If you please, if you're grieving the loss of a loved one or a friend or whatever, like I said, grief is the price you pay for loving someone. But if you're dealing with that, find a grief share group. It's a 13-week class. There's videos, there's a workbook, there's group discussion. In 40 years of ministry, Grief Share is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. And I encourage you, if there's not a Grief Share group that you find or what, reach out to me. I'll talk to you. You can email me, brian@garr.org, BRYAN@GARR.org. Email me. I'll talk to you. I'll listen to you, whatever you need. So that's that. Thank you for listening to the ramblings. I know it's a little longer than usual, but I hope that has helped. Be blessed. And as always, stay salty, my friends.